Welcome back to the Super Life Podcast. I'm your host, Darin Olien. Thanks for joining. Let's dive into this next topic in this solo adventure podcast. Today's episode is certainly an eye-opener. When you peel back the layers, you realize, is your house poisoning you? We're diving into toxic materials hidden in your home, formaldehyde, PFAS, plastics, carpets, fragrances that may be silently affecting your health over time, your family, your pets, your children. We'll break down the latest scientific research on these environmental toxins, their impact on human health, and most importantly, how you can detox your home for a Super Life approved, clean, and healthy living space. That's why I'm here, to help you live your super life. Let's define your super life by first taking care of the things that might be harming you that are invisible, that you're not thinking about. But I want to raise your attention to those facts so that you can, over time, build a resiliency of health, sovereignty, clarity, purpose, vision. But it's hard to do that when you're being hijacked by some hidden fatal conveniences. Now, keep in mind, I wrote extensively on all of this stuff in my book, Fatal Conveniences. You can check that out. Go to Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, any place that has it. This is a resource for the modern day living world. Okay, so the first thing we're going to dive into, but isn't talked about enough, that is formaldehyde. This is certainly a silent threat. Formaldehyde is common, and it's common indoor air pollutant that's found almost in every home because it's engineered and soaked into the wood products, the cabinetry, moldings, countertops, furnitures, chairs, tables, you name it. It is classified as a carcinogen by the World Health Organization, has been linked to respiratory issues, asthma, and even leukemia. That's right. This was a 2020 study linking those things to long-term exposure to formaldehyde over time. Is it acutely hurting you? No. But over time, these things add up against you, against your life, and inhibits you to having the best life ever. So, what do we do about it? You know, it's easy to go just buy something online and buy a cabinetry or put wood flooring in and panels and everything else. But they have to treat these things so that they're trying to treat these things so that it doesn't have molds, which is a whole nother issue because most homes have mold. Anytime you put up a wall, anytime you have plumbing, anytime you have heat and cool inside, you're creating a vector of change that can create moisture and trap the moisture, and that black mold is a big issue in most homes. So there's also protocols that you can take to test to see if you have molds and allergies. I would recommend you talk to your functional medical doctor and start, if you have weird anomalies, if you have challenges and you can't quite get to the root cause, could be several things, but you want to get some tests. You want to get some blood tests. You want to get some urine tests. You want to get even hair analysis if you have heavy metals, even parasites. Most cultures, I've talked about parasites before, most cultures, ours don't really do parasite cleanses on a regular basis. This stuff is powerful. But if you also have this environmental anomaly of these molds and black molds, and over time, if you're living and breathing in your home and sleeping in that can be a big issue. I digress. Back to formaldehyde. How do you reduce formaldehyde exposure? One thing around wood products, you really want to look for solid wood furniture. That is the best. If you can find an artisan that you can support, almost like, you go to a farmer's market, you get directly from the farmer. In this way, find an artisan in your community, in your area. Ask your family and community around you to see if there's some great artisan creators and crafters that can maybe make your furniture And maybe you don't have to pay as much, or maybe it's just well crafted and you can keep it in generations and generations. You can keep that table, that countertop, that chair, spend a little extra time finding out solid wood furniture, because the pressed wood, the glues, the formaldehydes, all of that stuff, that's a big red flag. So most homes are still putting up wood, which drives me crazy. I don't know why you would use wood. I don't know why you would put square boxes up with wood. It just doesn't make any sense. The construction world is old, and here in California, there is no way. Even though I am surrounded in wood right now, this is carefully created yurt that got me into a structure while I was and continued to rebuild my home. But my homes will not have any wood in it whatsoever. Unless I'm with an oak tree that's fallen, I'm going to create an artisan to build certain furniture in my homes, because I have the wood here, and it's these old oak trees that I can use. It's fantastic. Yes, I'm going to spend a little more time. I may spend a little more money, but those things are going to be solid, and they might last me for decades and decades. Okay, so you want to opt for solid wood furniture instead of this pressed, not to throw them under the bus, but some sort of IKEA thing. Those are almost guaranteed to have some sort of formaldehyde or a low VOC. That's a volatile organic compound. These are also from not only the formaldehyde in the woods, but they're also the paints and the finishes. So you really want to look at that. So if you are cultivating and creating your own furniture, as an example, you can use no VOC paints, different finishes that you can use. I remember sanding some furniture that I bought, and then I stained it with, I did. I stained it with chaga. That resin from chaga, after I boiled it for a bit, I concentrated it and used it, and then I used oil, used coconut oil and other things, and that's what I used inside. So just get creative. You can YouTube this stuff and find many different alternatives to safe, effective sealers and finishes and paints. Keep your home well ventilated. I've talked about this before. Make sure you want to use a HEPA air filter. There's several HEPA air filters out there, and actually quite cheap based on your square footage. You can get the size that you need, etc. So super helpful. The next hidden danger is a big one. It's everywhere. Most people are being exposed to PFAS in their drinking water. So of course you want to reverse osmosis your water and get that stuff out, but it's also hidden in the home. These are, if you haven't heard about these before, these are poly and pre-fluoral alkali substances. These use a fluorine gas. It's a very non-natural compound that is a forever chemical. But these obviously in your home, throw away, get rid of all the non-stick cookware that have not been properly tested for PFAS or nano PFAS. You want to make sure. And then, of course, what's on your body, it's in your home too, but the stain-resistant fabrics, that's a big red flag for PFAS. Waterproofing clothing, again, a big red flag for PFAS. There's also wax waterproof clothing you can get, so you still can have waterproof clothing. You just don't need to use PFAS. But again, drinking water is a big exposure, and studies have shown that these chemicals accumulate in the body. We don't yet know how to get them out of the body 100%, but they are linked to cancer, hormone imbalances, they're endocrine disruptors, immune system suppression, and reproductive toxicity. This was a study in 2019. Like always, I have the bibliography in the show notes, and so you can check out any of these studies that I'm referencing here. I'm not making this stuff up. This is from the latest studies. How do you reduce this PFAS exposure? Like I said, get rid of the stainless get rid of the nonstick, and you can go to cast iron, stainless steel, 100% stainless steel. And there's another great pan that I use, a titanium pan that's been tested from our place. I'm not sure 100% on all of the products. I'm not saying that they have it in there, but that is the pan that I researched, and that's the pan that I'm using. It's an incredible pan. I use it all the time from our place, so you want to check that out. Go to my marketplace. They will give you a discount if you want to get that titanium pan. These things are great, and it's still very effective nonstick without the chemicals, without the PFAS. And avoid these stain-resistant treatments. Also, stain-resistant carpets, mattresses, and furniture. I know these are big-ticket items, but when you can, make the move to use 100% organic fabrics, no stain resistant. As soon as you see stain resistant, that is a massive big red flag. Like I said, RO filters to remove it from your water. These are the things you can do in your home. Okay, another one, in your home, you want to be aware of plastics. As things touch your food and water, those plastics, unless they're super hard and BPA and BPH free, you can use those in situations, but plastic cutting boards, that's a big no-no. Tupperware containers, big no-no. All these things. Plastics release harmful chemicals like this BPH and also BPA. Potentially, the bisphenol A is a big one, as well as phthalates. These guys are endocrine disruptors. These are leading to adding to the infertility, metabolic disorders, and even neurological issues. This was a study done in 2009. Yes, we need more studies on this stuff, but this is common sense. I'm not here to try to convince you, but these things are chemicals that are untested, unregulated, and we need to stop them. And there's a lot you can do. So you can reduce this exposure. Use glass and stainless steel containers. I won't even use a microwave. It's just wickedly weird to use electromagnetic fields to heat your food. Certainly don't put plastics into a microwave. That is just anytime heat, soups or whatever, and you think it's cardboard, it usually has PFAS liner on it and or some sort of plastic liner in it. So anything like a tea from a regular cup or a Starbucks or something like that, chances are you're getting a chemical soup into that. These are endocrine disruptors. So you want to also avoid all of those things and choose BPA, BPH free household products. Carpets, like again, carpets are just a kind of a bad idea to begin with, because it's just a reservoir of toxins and allergies. There's just no way to get that stuff clean. So carpets are also a harbinger of these semi-volatile organic compounds. Also, flame retardants are in there potentially in certain areas of the world. Pesticides have shown up in carpets. Yes, that's true, making them a major source of indoor air pollution and allergies. Children and pets are particularly vulnerable because they're closer to it, they're on it, they're rolling around with it. And there's a powerful study done in 2017. If you are going to use carpets or throw carpets or something like that, then obviously you want to use as much organic and natural as you can with wool or cotton. Natural fibers, and then you got to watch out for the dyes too. The dyes are a whole host of potentially hundreds of different types of chemicals, so try to use plant-dyed food. And if you do have carpets, HEPA vacuums, so the vacuums can filter out effectively with a HEPA filter on the vacuum. These things are incredibly great. And then in terms of carpet cleaning, use non-toxic carpet cleaners. And then you can look up on YouTube. I didn't do that work, but it's some of that stuff's in the book. You can use vinegars, essential oils, baking soda, and have a toxic-free, amazing, and also gifting up-leveling fragrance, toxic-free solution, that kind of thing. So don't add to the problem by buying into these horrible cleaning products that smell bad and everything else, which leads me to the next one, fragrances. These are airborne toxins in your home. I was just in New York. I went to work out in the gym, and they had one of those little boxes that spray periodically this perfume and fragrance into the room. It was so toxic. I had to hold my breath. I stole the weights, only for a second, so settle down. I took the weights, went back to my hotel room that was better, and the windows open, and then I did a workout. So I avoid fragrances. I'm so sensitive because I have desensitized myself to unnatural fragrances. I detect it. I run away from it. I don't want to be around it because I know it's equally bad. But you also want to stay away from these. You also want to stay away from these synthetic fragrances found in air fresheners. All air fresheners are horrible. I've not seen one that's any good. Candles with all these weird fragrances, cleaning products, perfumes. All of these things are endocrine disruptors that contain more phthalates, more VOCs, and they're linked to respiratory issues, migraines, hormone disruption. And this was a study done in 2018. So how do you detox? Well, you can use essential oil diffusers. I've got a couple that I turn on periodically. Get rid of the synthetic air fresheners. Choose fragrance-free cleaning products or make your own. And I'll go through how I make some at the end. This can improve your air quality by itself. A couple plants, lilies and spider plants, are actually been shown to clean the air. So having plants into your environment can help clean that air. So just to reiterate, switch to non-toxic cleaning products. Avoid these harsh chemicals. So easy ones to do. I'm usually like a third organic vinegar, white vinegar with water. I can even add a little baking soda to it and essential oil, and bam, it is such a powerful cleanser, and it feels so good. It smells so good in my environment. Those are easy to do. Just get a little glass spray bottle and you're set. You want to improve your ventilation. Always open up windows when you can. And then, of course, get that HEPA air filters, especially important as we spend more and more time indoors, because that's just the way the world has flipped. We're spending most times inside rather than our ancestors outside. 93% of our lives are spent indoor in something. So, of course, get outside as much as you can, but open up those windows. Avoid these toxic furnitures and decor, organic bedding. You're sleeping a third of your life. Get and choose and buy better quality mattresses and at least the bedding, the pillow, the sheets, all of that stuff. You want to improve on that. Ditch the plastics if you can altogether. Glass, stainless steel, silicone is even great. These are alternatives to food storage and cookware. Again, the titanium pan that I use from our place is amazing. So you want to go green for your health, man. You just want to turn back the common sense. Laundry detergent is a whole nother thing. My laundry game, I just did laundry just before this. I take a quarter cup of borax for my laundry. I add a little baking soda. I'll add white vinegar, and then I'll add a little lemon, and that's my laundry soap. And it's fantastic. It's super cheap because I buy buckets of this stuff. So there's no price sensitivity at all. And then you're eliminating all this stuff. So you want to check labels, no parabens, phthalates, fragrances, any of this stuff. So the reality is our homes are definitely filled with hidden toxins. So you have to make an effort to clean up your space. That is impacting your health, either good or not good. So the good news is you have the power to change all of this stuff, okay? By making these small intentional choices like choosing cleaner products, improving ventilation, ditching harmful plastics, you can create a Super Life approved home that truly supports your what? Your well-being. So have you taken some steps in the process? And if you have, let me know what you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. Share your experiences on social media. You can share it on with me at Darin Olien, and let me know what you're saying. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know some little hacks. Let everyone know so that we can continue to support you having your super life. Okay? That's it. Clean up your home. Clean up your life. It's easy. It's just one step at a time. Next thing you know, you're going to be far down the road in a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, generating your life, creating your life, not reacting to it, not being a victim of it. Okay? I love you.